Call the meeting to order.
Lush,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
We have minutes from our November 21st, November 25th, 2013 work session. Move approval of those minutes.
Second.
Lush,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
We also have minutes from the regular session, November 25th, 2013. Move approval of those minutes.
Second.
Lush,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
First item of new business we have is bill number 2013, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a renewal sublease of business property with Home Depot USA. This is up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. As council is aware that we do have a sublease with, for business property with Home Depot. We originally signed that lease in January 2012. That was for an initial one-year period with 2 additional extensions for 6-month periods each. That is now, we are now at the end of that, and Home Depot has interest to continue to rent the building for an additional one-year term, and therefore we are recommending passage of the task resolution authorizing the execution and renewal of that sublease with Home Depot for another year.
Are there any changes to the contract at all?
There are no changes to the contract, same rate.
I move for reading bill number 2013-84.
Lush,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes. Bill number 2013-84, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a renewal sublease of business property with Home Depot USA Incorporated. Whereas the City of Mexico recognizes the need to promote economic welfare in the community by fostering and facilitating the creation of supporting jobs. And whereas the City of Mexico has a 100,800 square foot industrial building located on Route JJ 2501 Christopher Drive that is currently being rented by Home Depot USA Incorporated to support economic growth. And whereas Home Depot USA Incorporated is interested in renewing the sublease of the city industrial building for an additional one-year term. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the city manager is hereby authorized to execute a renewal sublease of business property with Home Depot USA Incorporated for the city industrial building located at Route JJ 2501 Christopher Drive. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of bill number 2013-84.
Lush,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Next new business resolution we have is bill number 2013-85, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce to assist in providing tourism activities for the City of Mexico. This is up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Your Honor, this is the annual renewal of the agreement, and to cover the terms, I will turn to Roger Haynes.
Good evening. The attached resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce to assist in promoting tourism in the City of Mexico for the budget year 2013-14. The city would contribute to the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce the sum of $13,000 for use in the cost of tourism activities listed in the agreement. This is a similar amount that we have had in the agreement in past years. The director of the chamber, Dana Keller, was unable to be here this evening, but she did provide to council a letter kind of outlining some of the activities that they assist the city with. To highlight a few of those, they assist on a daily basis persons walking people to the chamber or anybody that makes phone calls, maps and brochures and general information on the City of Mexico. They assist with special events that are being held. They host luncheons, dinners, and entertainment. Some of the promotions that they help the city with that she names, and this is just a few, would be the Miss Missouri pageant, Taste of Mexico, Holiday Inn Express, and of course the Walk Back in Time. Staff recommends that the City of Mexico and the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce enter into an agreement promoting tourism, and that the council give reading and passage of the attached resolution.
I think some people might question why the city is doing this, but this is a really big support to helping bring people to Mexico. I know I've used their services over the years in terms of bringing people to Mexico, and they have the brochures and the maps and all the different things that people need to orientate themselves to the city of Mexico and what it's about.
Yeah, that's a good point. And a personal experience in my traveling on vacations and things like that. Of course, now we use the internet a lot. But I would stop at a chamber of commerce to find out what to do in the town rather than stopping at the city. And I think that's what we see a lot here, is people see the chamber on the square and they drop in there to get a real quick rundown of the activities and places to eat and things of that nature.
I'm fine with it this year. My only thing that I would say is, if we're going to say it's for tourism, maybe we need to look in throwing some of this into the tourism fund, paid out of tourism, rather than us paying. I mean, we have a tax for tourism, so that's for tourism and economic development, so maybe we can shift some of it out of the general revenue into tourism, since it's called tourism.
It is a good thought and suggestion, and Lou may be able to help us out a little bit more than what I can, but I think we could not supplant expenditures that we already had with the tourism tax fund. Any new items?
I'd have to look at it, but there is a specific statute dealing with the tourism tax, and it sets forth what it can be used for, and it itemizes them. Now, for this fiscal year, if you've already adopted the budget for the tourism commission, they would have to amend it to be able to do it for their fiscal year this year. But we need to look at the statute to see if it could be used for that purpose. To give you an example, we once looked at, and this was, went on a recruiting trip to attract industries. Could we buy from Brookstone certain things that said, come to the City of Mexico? Could we have some brochures paid out? And we, looked at all that stuff, defined the lines on what was tourism versus what was economic development. And that's a line you gotta watch, because that tax is dedicated solely for tourism, not for economic development.
Yeah.
But I'd be glad to get with Roger.
Yeah, this year, and I'm just thinking, it'd be nice, maybe if we could take some of the tourism part of this bill, because when people hear tourism, they're like, well, we pay a tourism tax, why are we putting this here? They don't understand the finesse of the law there as much, as we're getting a fresher on.
All right,
So,
we'll take a look at it. Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
suggestion.
I move for reading of bill number 2013-85.
Second.
Flash,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Bill number 2013-85, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce to assist in providing tourism activities. Whereas the City of Mexico recognizes the many benefits derived by the city, its businesses, and citizens resulting from the influx of tourists, that tourism is vital to the economy of Mexico, Missouri. And whereas the City of Mexico acknowledges the need for more tourism activities and also recognizes the benefits associated with promoting City of Mexico in tourism markets, and whereas the City of Mexico and the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce desire to enter into an agreement to provide tourism activities to the City of Mexico, now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the city manager is hereby authorized to execute an agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce to assist in promoting tourism in the City of Mexico. Agreement attached hereto and marked as Exhibit A. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of bill number 2013-85.
Second.
Flesh,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Under other business this evening, we have a staff report, purchase of wastewater liquid biosolids truck for the wastewater treatment department. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor, to cover the bids received, we'll turn to Kenzie Russell.
This is an item that we've been working on for several months, and in fact, this, the first time we advertised for the truck, we rejected the bids, the two bids that we received, and changed our bid specifications a bit and rebid it. This time we were successful in getting three bids, four responses, three bids for the truck. We had roughly $162,000 budgeted for the truck. The low bid came from Diamond International in Springfield, Missouri, for the truck chassis, a 2015 International Workstar chassis, and Crump Truck and Trailer Tank would be providing the tank and pumps that would go on the back of the truck. This replaces two trucks that we currently have. Diamond International did not give us a trade-in value for those two trucks. They are willing to look at them and give us a value that would help offset some of the cost, or we can sell them through gov.deals or some other form of disposal if we choose for those trucks. These trucks are essentially handle liquid sludge, liquid biosolids from the plant, carry it out to the farm fields and spread it as fertilizer. We use this truck for the liquid form of the sludge. We have a dry spreader truck that we use for the cake form of the sludge. And so we're in essence, we have a bid that is within our budget, and we're replacing two trucks with one truck, and would recommend approval of the purchase.
So the other two bids had the trade-in on their bids?
One of them did. The other one said that the trucks weren't worth anything and they weren't going to give us any value. We could just keep them. It had cost more to haul them to Bloomington, Indiana than they were worth. And so I'd have to look back, but I believe the Staley, I believe, is the one that indicated that there wasn't any trade-in value. Co-equipment, I believe, gave about $1,000 apiece, roughly, something like that.
So we've been using two, and now we're only going to use one?
We really have only been using one for city purposes. The second one, many years ago, was purchased with Teva and was used when the city was disposing of Teva's sludge. When we ceased doing that, we basically ceased having the need for two trucks.
Now, do these just spread on top, or there are injectors? Do you have
No, they
injector
just
systems?
spread on top. It's just a surface spread. Generally, most of the ground that we spread on is pasture ground.
Oh, okay.
I love the bid. I just am a little concerned because of the huge price difference. I mean, we're not talking about a
That's-
small percentage difference.
No, that's a legitimate concern. And we looked at the bids, looked at it closely. Crump deals with a lot of agricultural spreaders, and that's basically what we are doing. We were trying to get a truck with tank and pumps that was essentially a no-frills operation. Staley deals with wastewater primarily. They deal a lot with vacuum-type trucks, have the appurtenance on it to suck, blow, spread, and they also have typically have the injectors on their trucks, which add a considerable amount. And so they deal with a more versatile type of truck, actually. And I think that's partly why that bid price is higher, not so much that we were asking for all of that, but that's what they customarily deal with. Co-equipment similarly deals in that field. We had actually budgeted monies based on conversations with co-equipment. We deal with them with other equipment and other equipment purchases. Their bid isn't quite as high or as out of line, but their concern with the Kenworth chassis actually dealt with putting the high flotation agriculture type tires on the chassis, and according to them that was about $16,000 to jack up the chassis, put in the extra springs and so forth, and I think that's where at least a part of the difference in their bid was.
But you feel confident that you're going to get what you need?
Yes. Yeah, Greene County has used similar trucks from these folks.
We need a motion? Yeah. I move we buy the new waste truck from Diamond International, Springfield, Missouri.
Second.
Lush,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
The next staff report, we have the purchase of a Universe forensic extraction device for the Department of Public Safety. Bruce?
We'll turn to Chief Wright.
The 2013-2014 budget allows for $10,500 for the purchase of a universal forensic extraction device for public safety. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a second. The UFED Touch Ultimate is the mobile forensic equipment that enables the physical, logical, and file system extraction of all data and passwords from a wide range of mobile phones, portable GPSs, tablets. You can do another slide. This is what it does. The information that we get from cell phones, which is predominantly the devices that we're looking into, provides leads that can move a criminal investigation forward, proof that a crime was committed or criminal intent, elimination of a suspect, independent evidence that corroborates a confession or affirm or disprove an alibi, establishes innocence of people not involved in the crime, and reasonable suspicion or probable cause. It is able to take a cell phone in layman's terms and just suck all the information out of it in a usable fashion. Things that are hidden, things that have been deleted, things that are put into apps. For instance, if anybody's familiar with Foursquare. Okay, you know Foursquare. Okay, Foursquare kind of documents where that you have been. If you're at a restaurant, it's going to document the date and the time that you were at that restaurant. If you're trying to build a corroboration or to disprove someone as being available or having an alibi, this is information that assists with that. Of course, anybody could have had your phone, but that's usually the first question. Does anybody else use your phone? No, nobody uses my phone. So those are the kind of things that are able to come out of that. This is what it looks like, if that helps any at all. It's advanced extraction, decoding, analysis, and reporting of data, and it will take it out of smartphones, legacy, or the old phones, flip phones, feature phones, tablets, GPSs, and like I said, it retrieves information deleted or hidden, and any personal information that would be stored in the multitude of apps that are out there for phones. We are called upon on a regular basis now, time marching forward, to get subpoenas for people's cell phones and that kind of thing, and this would give us a way to extract the information in a usable format. We began researching it. We have 3 bids. Cellbrite is the one that we're recommending. It's $84 more than we had budgeted, but when you look at the other bids, it's still the lowest bid, and it is also the one that we're most familiar with. We've used an older version of the Cellbrite in the past, and this is an updated and more current version of Cellbrite now. So we recommend that you approve the purchase of the UFED Touch Ultimate from Cellbrite.
We don't have currently anything like that. This is something totally new.
We have borrowed from other agencies, but now their stuff is getting antiquated and it's not reaching out the way we need it to.
And how much would this be used, do you think? How many occasions would you use it in a year? 50, 100?
Dozens and dozens of times. Everybody's got a cell phone. And the prosecutor is asking for subpoenas to get those. So this would be the most all-encompassing way to extract that information.
The unfortunate path forward.
Yes.
Now you're tracked everywhere with your phone.
Right.
Can I use it to retrieve stuff I've lost in my phone?
That's a good idea.
If it'll do all that, why do we need detectives?
Yeah.
I got a question, seriously. On the Cellbrite bid, they want second year for updates and software changes and tech support and so forth, $2,998.99, whereas on Microsystemation, they're including that in their bid, a 2-year software subscription.
They don't, it's a totally different type of machine.
Okay?
They call it an office version, and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the Cellbrite has. And, you know, I don't know how to answer the question on their renewal of their, you know, I don't know how people come up with some of the prices that they come up with.
Well, it's going to be another $3,000 next year just to get the updates and pay for the tech support and so forth.
That's how fast it moves forward, unfortunately.
Well, I guess my point is, are we comparing apples to oranges here? Because they're bidding their bid at $10,855. It says total complete kit with 2 years software subscription.
The mobility of this one, the fact that we've used this kind of before, and it kind of comes recommended to us, is the reason why the detectives are favoring this one. And
Well, it looks like Systemation's got a bunch of charge for training also,
yes,
that the other one doesn't have. Would that be a lot of the difference?
I think so. I think yeah, because they've got foundation training, intermediate training, advanced training, and then training, so.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're getting the bidding fair. That's
Okay.
the whole thing I'm after.
Okay. Any other questions that?
How, I think you bring up a good point. How often do they update? Is it kind of like your computer? Because I'm thinking in my head now that he bought that up. I mean, you're dealing with apps and new stuff. I mean,
Every
every
second.
day. So is it like
New
you get
phones.
an update every day? I mean, is that
Now, I
kind
don't
of
know
deal?
about that. I don't know how. I don't know. Can you answer that?
I would assume it would be quarterly.
Yeah.
Quarterly updates.
But yeah, that's a fast forward.
How many years are you thinking this would be used for? I mean,
With current
It's
technology.
useful life.
yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. Would you be able to answer something like that? 5 years.
Yeah.
Because now, Greg's got me thinking. Because you're going to have to pay that every year. I mean, you're going to have to, because you got to get updates constantly. So, I think you have to include the subscription in the total.
Well, then I think we would have to also include the training, if you turn it over and look at the training costs. If we sent 3 people out for training, just for the foundation training, that'd be another $3,300.
Oh, yeah, I didn't turn it.
So, and this is something, the Cellbrite you've used before, right?
Yes.
So you really don't need training on it.
I mean, it doesn't, I wouldn't think that you would have to have training. And I don't know if they're giving you detective training or, on how to optimally use the information that you receive. But like I said, the detectives have been using other lesser systems for several years now, and they've kind of, they've developed search warrants for them, subpoenas, and everything else. So they've been working in this genre for some time.
Yeah.
Okay, I move we purchase the Cellbrite USA for $10,584.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes.
Nichols, Bott,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Next,
I'm
we have,
I have one comment. Part of the reason I decided that, I looked in the actual yearly fee is cheaper on the one we're buying. Anyway, so.
okay, next we have a staff report, request permission to sell by public auction bid, open market, recycle, or like service, surplus property belonging to the City of Mexico and unclaimed and abandoned property in accordance with the City of Mexico Purchasing Policy, Section 10-42 of the Mexico City Code. Bruce?
Yes, I'm going to have Roger Haynes introduce this one.
During the course of the year, of course, we accumulate equipment and that we show as surplus, or we collect abandoned items such as bicycles, and we store those out in the cages out back of City Hall. When we get to a certain point, we need to get authorization from the City Council to be able to dispose of that, whether it be by auction or auction in person or auction over the internet, or taking sealed bids, or just taking it for recycling. This year, the list that we have that we're requesting to dispose of are items we'd like to get rid of promptly before we go through another winter. There are other items that we have to sell, but they would be more conducive to maybe having an auction, whether it be on site when the weather is better, or when we have more information as to what we think that those particular items are worth. The items on your list, which includes 37 bicycles, a 1975 Ford 8000 6x4, a 1975 Ford F350, a 10-foot Heil truck bed, and a 1996 Ford F350 are basically items of very, very little value. Of course, the 37 bicycles being stored outside are going to be worth even less once they sit out there all winter long. Some of those have been in the cage since we did our last auction back in 2010. Most of those you're not going to just jump on and ride off on unless you want to not have a seat or a handlebar or a chain or this or that. They are in poor repair. Same with a couple of the vehicles that we have. As you can see, we've got some vehicles dating back to 1975, and they've basically been idle because they're not efficient, or in some aspects they're not even usable on the road. So when we've got other pieces of equipment that are better for employees, they use that, and these are just sitting there. Most likely these pieces of equipment we're going to just do with local sealed bids, because again, their value is so small that we wouldn't necessarily list those on govdeals.com or on eBay. We'd spend more time managing the questions versus people being able to go right to our maintenance center and look at the pieces of equipment to place a bid. Staff requests authorization to dispose by auction, bid, open market sale, recycling, or like services the list of items that we've just considered as surplus, unclaimed, or abandoned property. Sale of the abandoned and unclaimed property is in accordance with Section 1042 of the Mexico City Code, and sale of surplus property is in accordance with Section X disposal of surplus goods with the City of Mexico purchasing policy. If there's any other questions, I'd be glad to try to address those.
Are they bidding each thing individually, or are you looking for just one bid for all of it?
As far as with the bicycles, we'll probably just try to get a bid as a lot.
Yeah.
Because again, we would spend more time trying to bid on those individually.
No, that's, I mean, like the 37, the 111, like you have it laid out here.
Yeah,
Or you got
that-
them
that's
individually
correct.
like that.
Bruce and I went over the bids that we received back in 2010 on the bicycles, and I think the high for one bicycle was $8, and most of them sold between $1 and $3 a piece. So.
So what type of motion do you need?
Motion to declare the property abandoned and to offer it for sale.
Okay, I make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Pettit,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay, next we have motion to change the December 23rd, 2013 meeting time. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor, we have had a couple of people, council members, indicate that they will not be available on the 23rd. And so, the meeting that we have on the 23rd, or proposed, would be a very short, simple meeting as far as claims and anything that would be necessary to finish by the end of the year, so it really wouldn't be a full meeting. So we want to know if you'd like to look at an alternate time to hold that meeting. Whether it be earlier that day or late, earlier the week before, or like on a Thursday or Friday before. And again, timing wise is up to you guys. It's something that my guess would be it's a 5-10 minute meeting.
I won't be here on the 23rd at all.
And Dan, I
I'm
think you're
leaving on
gonna
the
be-
18th.
Yeah. Which moves that back to what, Wednesday?
I have,
I can be here on the 19th or 20th, so either day. But, the 20th probably would have to be really late today. The 19th, I could be here late today. Or any time on the 19th. You good on the 19th? 19th.
Is something you would like to do, like at 4 or 5 o'clock, 5:30?
What's the best time?
Whatever, just as long as I know. Yeah.
How about you? What's the best time?
it's no difference to me. I get up at about 6.
6
So anytime from there on.
AM?
It's, there's not,
Sometimes.
we're just basically paying the claims and,
The only thing I see on it at this point is claims, and we may have a contract renewal with Public Health for grease trap inspections. But that's the only thing I know at this point that would be on there.
So you want to do the 19th then?
I think.
What's the best time? What's
You
the best
said
time
you
for
did-
the city?
We will work whatever schedule you have.
We do it 4 o'clock?
in that man.
What?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, is that okay?
December 19th, 4 p.m.
Does that work for you, Greg?
I know it doesn't work for Dan.
You're already gone.
You okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You all just take care of it.
So we'll need a motion to make that change.
I move that our second meeting in December be held on December 19th at 4 p.m.
Second.
Flash,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Next, we have the claims.
Move to pay the claims?
Second.
Flash,
Yes.
Bott,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Next, we have council comments. Councilman Botts.
Well, attended Oliver, the play Oliver, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. And kudos to all those who worked very hard on making that come together. That's all I have.
I'll ditto the Oliver, and I will add to remind everybody Thursday night at downtown will be Living Windows, and it is from 6 to 8. So bring out your family and check it out. Something new for the community.
I would like to commend, and this goes to Roger because it's his department, Dolly Jesse, on winning the Volunteer of the Year award from the United Way. I think that's great. I can remember, she's done this for years. I can remember back when I was with the city, she'd come down and twist your arm every year to get that dollar out of you. And I know it's probably been close to 15 years that she's been doing that, or maybe more. More than that even. Well, congratulations to her. Well-deserved award. Glad to see it.
I'll pass that on. Thank you.
Santa Train this Sunday, 5 p.m. There'll be a lot of people in town.
Okay.
And the First Christian Church has a living nativity scene this Sunday.
Same night, yep.
Do we have anything in the city that deals with people walking along streets at night, late at night, crossing streets in front of cars?
Like a law of physics about that.
Yeah, I know. What concerns some people in this community who are, somewhat older and driving at night, and these people run out from them, they can't see them. And, either riding bikes or the particular example that was brought to me, and this has happened to them a couple times, is over on Hendricks, where it's pretty dark over there around the corners, and there's people ride their bikes across there. And
Dressed in black.
There are a lot of walkers on Hendricks at night. After 6 till about 9 o'clock. There's just a lot of walking traffic. We don't have anything in the city code that requires them to wear reflective clothing or reflective shoes or anything like
Yeah,
We
that-
have Facebooked that before about wearing reflective things and stuff like that. We can do some education things.
Yeah, that was the request that I had come to me, was that they wear something reflective if they're going to be walking out or riding a bike late at night where it's completely dark, because, it's hard to see people at night. And we all know what happened in town here a couple of years ago, late in the evening, and, I'm not going to get into all that, but, people riding stuff close to the road after dark or walking or doing those kind of things. So I guess I was wondering, is there anything that we can do or can look at?
that. Well, one of the things you might want to think about is there is a sidewalk on Kentucky on both sides. It starts at Hendricks and goes south. And then there is a sidewalk that connects on Curtis. And it can take you all the way down to the high school. And if you're looking for a walking path in the evening, there are some other areas that have sidewalks that frankly would be a lot safer. The attraction with Hendricks is the lake and it goes by the park.
Yeah.
And you can loop around, get into the park, come back out, that kind of thing. But there is a sidewalk on the east side of Kentucky, there is a sidewalk on the west side of Kentucky from Hendricks south to Curtis that goes all the way down to 22, or you can go east on Curtis. People are looking for place to walk at night. You couldn't ride your bicycle, but in terms of walking, there is that availability that would get you off the street.
And I guess that'd be a pretty expensive proposition to put a sidewalk along Hendricks through that area, because you probably have to have a build-up through there because it drops off considerably.
As long as we get the one on Moore Street first.
I think Washington Street's the one you're looking at.
Can't legislate common sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You can't.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I forgot. I was a little disappointed. So MoDOT turned down our request for the study out there on Clark.
The project turned out to not be eligible for the TEAP, or Traffic Engineering Assistance Program. However, the local resident engineer here is trying to see if there are available MoDOT funds through their MoDOT's on-call engineering. And if he can latch on to some of those funds and the city can provide some matching assistance on an 80-20 basis, then we may be able to proceed through a different MoDOT program, but that would, rather than being run through the city, would be run directly by MoDOT, through MoDOT. So we're, Brian Hafner's looking into that. We're still waiting to see what he might be able to come up with. So they haven't given up on it.
Well, that's good to hear.
Any comments from the public? Okay. Seeing none or hearing none, I move we adjourn.
Second.
Lesh,
Yes?
Bott,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.